Hey everyone, it's Stori here, and this is RP Weekly. So we're gonna pretend that I am not in a closet slash office. I have not moved my laptop since doing Monday's vlog, because I'm still fighting with Logitech. It's been a battle, and I'm actually quite terrified to even remove my webcam from where it's plugged in, let alone move my laptop. So we're gonna see how this goes. I'm also on my second glass of Jack and Coke, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this episode of RP Weekly. It is episode 16. I have quite a few things lined up for you. So first up, for notable blogs, I have Work in Progress RP, and in this roleplay, the characters don't actually know that they're in this unfinished novel, and every once in a while, the author, capital A author, will change things up, and the author's choices are subplots. And this is an Apple's roleplay, and the admin, I believe, is in charge of the author. So it's a cool plot idea that I thought I'd share with you. Why are the French words so hard to pronounce? It's VU Noise RP, and this roleplay is based off of, The Vampire Diaries, the originals, the Arcane Society, and Teen Wolf. And they obviously have a variety of characters and races available, but they also have different factions that have influence over the characters, like, the hunters have their own, like, guild or something, so kind of like that. Next I have Immunity RPG, and in this roleplay, the plot is that human experimentation resulted in creating these mutants, and all mutants have, well, not all, but most of them have different mutations, so they can do different things. Some managed to escape, and they escaped into this Amazon forest, and that's where they live now, and that's where the community has grown. And the characters, they're assigned work in different stations, so there's like the security tower, or the rec hall, or the mess hall, things like that. There's also different housing per character. Some mutants who are more volatile have single housing, and then there's others that have other ones. So next up, I have Journey to Atlantis RPG, and this one's pretty exciting. They're not open yet, and they're not taking applications, but they are posting bios, and you can message and ask, little like sneak peek. I can English today. You can ask for sneak preview to characters. They'll give you a little blurb about them. They do have a playlist though, and they do also have a trailer, which I watched, which is pretty cool. Next I have One Tree Hill Next Gen RP, and this one's pretty self-explanatory. It's a roleplay that's next gen One Tree Hill. They have pretty much the basic setup of the original show, and you can apply for characters and do all that stuff. Next I have Marvel Academy. And this roleplay has actually a really simple application. I really liked theirs. But their plot is centered around Academy for superheroes, and they do have plot drops. So I think the most recent one was that Hydra members came and fucked shit up, and there's a little gnat. Okay. Anyway, but they also I was gonna say something and I forgot. I got distracted by this gnat. Damn it. So also within this academy though, there are Hydra members that are hiding. So you have that secret plot going on also. So there's a potential for a lot of action happening. Next is a blog called A Question of Character. And this blog actually has a bunch of questions to help with character development. Some of them are serious questions, some of them are kind of fun ones. So I found this blog randomly for my own purposes, and then thought, why not include it here? You can ask advice as well. They are willing to answer some questions. So next is Night Tour, and this is a semi-Atlas Bandom roleplay. The bands that are competing are After Dark and The Empire, and you can be a musician or you can be part of the crew. And by you, I mean your character. Next up is Believers RP, and this roleplay is a skeleton roleplay that is set in the 80s in Arizona. They have a sci-fi-esque plot. So the main plot is that this young girl went missing, and then she reappeared completely okay, but she did say that she was abducted by aliens. And so there are characters that are non-believers, there are characters that are believers, and so obviously they have kind of a X-Files influence going on in their plot in the roleplay, and I highly recommend looking at them. So what I have next is Devil's Watch roleplay, and this is set in a town called Devil's Watch. This town is actually unknown to humans. It's an all-magical town. The history is that there's this council that was created to keep the peace between all the races and specializations, I guess. My Siri went on, and then it went off. Okay, whatever. Anywho, apparently my Siri is really interested in this roleplay. So, but actually what's been happening is that suspicions have been growing because there have been 2 recent killings, and so that's the big plot, which I thought was really cool about this main blog, though, was that they have astrology updates. So, the admins put a lot of work into it, I can tell. They have a little space on the sidebar for the moon phases, so they're very active and they put a lot of work in, so take a look. So for indie blogs this week I have 3. The first one is Raid's Tombs, and this is obviously Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. But what I thought I wanted to mention is they have a wide variety of verses for the character. I know one was Game of Thrones. There's 2 different face claims that they go between, so it's a little bit easier to remember face claims. And they're underused faces, which I thought was really cool to use for a indie blog. Next is Wildly Picturesque, and this blog is multi-original character muse. They are selective, but they have very clear and simple rules, which I actually really liked. It's very easy to read through them. And finally, for notable blogs this week, I have Property of Danger, and they have multi-muses and multiple verses. I know one was kind of a Doctor Who verse, another was there was a half vampire, so you have a quite wide variety. They also have a human one, so if you don't want magical, supernatural stuff, you can do that too. And so we're going to move on to RP trends, and this week the first one I noted was that there are a lot of Ask memes being sent out for RPHs, which I think is pretty cool. You get to know more about the RP help blogs. You get to kind of connect a little bit if you send one, whether you're anonymous or not. And secondly, I have this week is from this week's task for Tasks Weekly was body diversity, and I just adored that they were still going strong. I'm really happy about that because I know blogs fade in and out very quickly in the RPC. But I really love the body diversity theme. So this week for my RP wish list, I have quite a few things, and I'm pretty excited to share them with you. First up is Dead Rising, and this one which if you don't know, actually is a video game, and it's zombie apocalypse, sorta, I guess. I've only really witnessed the plot of the first and the second one. I know there are 4 of them. So hopefully I'll be able to actually watch a playthrough of the 3rd and 4th game. But I would give this one 2 corgis. 2. The next one I want to offer up is teen gangs. I know there was kind of like a surgence of them in popularity, I don't know, months ago maybe, but I really am feeling the vibe for a teen gang. It's kind of what I'm feeling right now, and I would like to see it. I kind of like the idea of having them, like, each character has, like, titles and like nicknames and stuff, so that'd be really cool. So I'd give teen gangs 3 corgis. And next is She's the Man roleplay. I'd like to see a roleplay based off of that. I know it's based off of a Shakespeare play, but it's more modern, so take the Shakespeare stuff and the She's the Man stuff, put it into a roleplay, and I'd love to see that at 2 corgis. Next is, I can't believe I'm saying this, Inuyasha roleplay. I'm fully aware that there are indie roleplays for it, but group roleplay wise, not so much. And I've just been in this kick lately again. I've been kind of craving watching anime again, and Inuyasha I think is possibly one of the first grouping of anime that I watched when I was younger, and actually watched completely through and then watched all the movies. And I've kind of been reading some fanfic again of Inuyasha. I'm not really sure what brought this on again, since the beginning. So I'm going to give this 4 corgis. So next on my wish list is Lizzie Bennet Diaries. If you have not watched Lizzie Bennet Diaries, you should immediately pause this video right now and go watch it on YouTube. You can watch the entire series. Lizzie Bennet Diaries is based off of, obviously, Pride and Prejudice, but put in modern day with the twist of doing an internet vlog. And I adore it. I love it so much. I'm really sad that it ended, but whatever. So I'd really love a group roleplay based off of it, and so I'm going to give it 3 corgis. And next, I want to see an all-girls Musketeers roleplay. Not like the whole thing be female, obviously, but the Musketeers themselves be female. I know there's All for One web series, which if you haven't seen, you totally should. They're up for streaming right now, so they're important. And all the Musketeers are female. And I adore it, and I would love to see a roleplay based off of that. So I'm going to give that 4 corgis. And so for my last one, this one's very important to me. So listen closely. Here's what I want. I would love a Kim Possible roleplay. I absolutely loved the show growing up. And if you have never ever seen a Kim Possible episode, you need to do that right now because it is very, very important. It was a Disney Channel show when I was growing up, and it's about Kim Possible, who is this cheerleader, but also spy. But she's really badass, and I absolutely loved the show growing up. So I'm going to obviously give it 5 whole corgis. That's how much I want it. So for favorite faces this week, I have Rona Mitra. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. But she's an actress, and she is of Bengali, Indian, and English descent. And then secondly, I have Markiplier, who, if you don't know, he's a YouTuber. But he is half German and half Korean. So as always, I have the goodie bag of this week, and I have quite a many things. One thing I'm really excited to share is a Pokemon Trainer card PSD, which is meant obviously for roleplays, but I will be honest, I may make it just for characters on a whim because it's pretty cool. There is a pop-up box tutorial. There's a Sailor Moon crystal screen caps, and I gave you a link to one, but they do multiple episodes, so you can take a look through their blog. There is how to make circle icons without Photoshop. There's an Aaron Hansen gift hunt, who is otherwise known as Ego Raptor, who is part of president/member of Game Grumps, which is a YouTube channel which does Let's Play. There's just a bunch of things in there, and I'm excited to share them with you, so take a look. And don't forget to send a thank you, I guess, to all the people that I don't really think I've ever said this before. Send a thank you and a message of love to all the people that have created all the resources that I always give in my goodie bag. But as always, please subscribe, like, comment. We do comment right away, by the way, or as soon as possible. We love to see comments, we love to see subscribes, and we love to see everyone reblog. I'm not gonna lie, I stalk and look at what people say when they reblog our weekly posts on Tumblr. But please subscribe, please leave a like, or I don't know, love, just love, I'll take it. Maybe a corgi picture or video, I'll take that too. As always, thank you for watching. So have a great end of week, beginning of week, whatever time zone you're in. My name is Stori, and I will see you next week on RP Weekly.